Hey, friends. Welcome to Mom Life in the Woods, a podcast for slower, sweeter days. This is a place for you to slow down and notice the beauty around you, create small but meaningful moments with your family, and build a life that feels intentional and lovely, no matter what stage of motherhood you're in. This episode is brought to you in part by Coach Dion Basketball. Coach Dion Basketball is a structured youth basketball development program in the Woodlands focused on helping kids build confidence and strong fundamentals at the right pace. Learn more at CoachDion.com. Coach Dion Basketball, the Woodlands' most dedicated coach. This past October, I invited my three sisters and my mom over for something I was calling an October affair. I told them ahead of time we're going to have good food, we'll listen to music, do a craft, and just enjoy some leisurely, chill time. It was a Friday. We were just going to hang out. The week got away from me, and suddenly it was the day of, and I realized I hadn't planned the craft. 2 hours before my sisters were due to arrive, I rushed to Walmart. I just started wandering the aisles looking for some inspiration. It was October, so there were pumpkins. I'm like, should we paint pumpkins? Nothing really felt right. And Michael's was just a little bit too far away to drive on such limited time. So I eventually just threw up my hands. Okay, we're not going to do a craft, but I felt really bad. Because I told them we were going to do one. When I invite people over, I want to follow through on the agenda. And that girly, crafty energy in the kitchen, eating food while you're doing crafts, that was going to be the highlight. At least I thought so. So when my sisters arrived, they were in the foyer taking off their shoes, and I couldn't contain it. Guys, I'm so sorry. I ran out of time. We are not doing a craft tonight. I just really wanted to get that off my chest. I told them I had a busy week. I just couldn't get my act together. And before I could even finish asking for forgiveness, my older sister says, "Oh, thank goodness." And the others immediately chimed in, "Oh, good. Yeah, I was not looking forward to doing a craft. I just kind of wanted to chill out." And we all shared a good laugh. You know what? My mom was also there. And I'm going to exonerate her right now because she was fine with doing whatever. She never once complained. But my sisters were like, "Oh, I'm so glad we are not doing the craft." And that was a light bulb moment for me. By the way, the title of this episode is When Art Looks Like Living. And I want to be clear from the start, this is not going to be an anti-creativity conversation. I know that art matters, especially for us moms. It reconnects us with ourselves. It pulls us out of autopilot. It grounds us. That's part of why I wanted to plan this craft for my get-together. We were going to be creative. It was going to be lovely. I know that art reduces stress. This was a Friday night. It's going to be a de-stressor. Art increases mindfulness. It helps us to feel more human. But somewhere along the way, our understanding of art got narrowed, at least mine did, got tangled up with glue guns and sequins and half-finished projects and just another thing we feel like we should be doing. And instead of feeling inspired, a lot of us just feel tired. So today, I want to offer you a different way of seeing art and creativity, one that fits inside real life, real motherhood, a way that doesn't require supplies or prep time or even a clean table or kitchen island, a way of engaging with beauty that will restore you instead of making you feel drained. And by the end of this episode, my hope is that you'll feel freer, lighter, and more confident about the quiet, beautiful ways you're already creating, and maybe even inspired to lean into them a little bit more. Because I think that when art looks like living, it stops being another project. It starts becoming something that we get to carry with us every day. It becomes familiar, accessible, and alive. So, guys, let's reset. What is art really? I come to realize it's not necessarily about producing something that's impressive or something cute, something that it sits on your dresser for a week and then you throw it away. Obviously, some people enjoy these kinds of crafts and projects, and if that's you, I love that for you. Keep up the amazing work. I enjoy that type of craft from time to time as well. But to put it simply, art is beauty and expression, and most importantly, it's intention. And when we look at it that way, we realize something powerful. We have opportunities to engage in art all day, every day. Think about going out to eat. You're not just paying a chef to cook your food, you're also paying, unless I'm not talking about fast food, guys. I'm talking about the nice restaurants that we go to. We're also paying for presentation. We're paying for balance, for beauty on a plate. Now, think about dinner at home. Are you just throwing the food on a plate? The plastic ones you got from Walmart during the clearance. Look, I have some of those too. They're pink and they're like this durable, rugged plastic. Is that what you're using for dinner every night? And if so, why? Why not pull out the pretty dishes? Why not sprinkle the walnuts just right over the parfait? Add the snippets of fresh herbs. Arrange the food with care. Look, there's no judgment. You can be making the boxed Kraft macaroni and cheese, but what happens if you sprinkle a little bit of shredded cheddar on top? Chop up a few chives, toss it in the oven, put it on broil for just a few minutes. It doesn't take that much more time, but it does take attention. And that attention results in a wonderfully orangey brown cheesy crust on top of that mac and cheese. Maybe you'll even sprinkle on some black pepper, and it becomes something your family hopefully is going to get excited about. And it moves it from the realm of meh into the realm of a culinary creation, a thing of beauty. I'm looking forward to eating that. And that's what makes it art. Art asks us to slow down. Art asks us to notice, to care. What about your penmanship? When you're writing a grocery list, when you are jotting down a note or leaving a message on the refrigerator for your kids, are you scribbling it out just as fast as possible with your chicken scratch? You can't see me raising my hand right now, but I am guilty as charged. I'm a scribbler. I can type very fast. So writing is laborsome to me. It takes so long. So when I have to write, I really write quickly to try to keep up with the flow of my thoughts, and the resulting penmanship is something my kids tease me about. But I've been slowing down now lately, really taking the time and attention to form my letters so that they're beautiful. Because I know when I receive a note from someone with beautiful handwriting, I marvel at it. I feel like it feels personal. It feels thoughtful. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be calligraphy. But there was a time recently when I was picking up adult coloring books. I wanted to do a little cozy night in with the girls, and they have these beautiful hand lettering workbooks. I actually picked one up, and then I was like, wait, I don't need these. I have so many opportunities to write beautifully. I know how to form the letters. I just need to slow down and put it into practice, the stuff that I already know. So it doesn't have to be fancy. Art doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be considered. Art is also fashion. Getting dressed is not just putting on clothes, it's self-expression, whether you realize it or not. So tomorrow morning, before you throw on your clothes, rush out the door, I don't know if you're going to work or if you're just going to the market. Try pausing just for a moment. Ask yourself, how are you feeling? What mood are you in that day? What do you want to feel as the day unfolds? And most importantly, what do you want to communicate, even quietly? Your closet is a palette. Every piece that's in there, it's an option, it's a color, it's a texture. Even if you are a minimalist, if you want to choose simplicity, that's its own form of art. Clean lines, neutral tones, fewer pieces. It does take consideration, it takes attention. Maybe it's choosing the earrings instead of skipping them. Maybe it's adding the bracelet, adding the watch, the one you love but always forget. These are small, creative decisions, but when you make them with intention, they start to add up. They shift getting dressed from something that you do automatically into something expressive, into a quiet act of creativity. Art is also how we care for our space. Art is making your bed. Wow, just saying that sounds so freeing. It's like, wow, I made my bed. I'm being artistic. Wow, I've checked that off my list. No, but seriously, I mean, is it just your comforter up over the pillows and then you're done? Or do you fluff the pillows? Do you fold down the top of the comforter just right? Do you add that cozy faux fur throw on top of everything? Because, well, number one, it was on sale at Macy's after the holidays. And number two, it just feels inviting. Now, that's not about impressing anyone. That's about creating beauty and expression in the space where we live. And that matters. And I feel like here's something important to remember. Our kids learn from how we do things with them. Take something as ordinary as doing your daughter's hair. Is it a quick brush up into a ponytail and then out the door? Sometimes, absolutely. That's real life. That's all we have time for. Sometimes all we have the desire to do. But other times, there's an opportunity. Smoothing the edges just right, seeing to it that that curl right there on the side falls just perfectly. Adding a braid, a bow, a little twist of personality. That's art. It's care. It's intention. It's self expression for you and for her. And of course, the same goes for your own hair. The same goes for laying out their clothes with thought, packing a lunch that looks inviting. There's a, there's a social media reel that was going around a while ago where there's a person in the kitchen making a sandwich and they grab the two pieces of bread, they grab the ham and cheese, and that's a wrap. They sit down, start eating, and then that person's sibling or sometimes it's a spouse, it's been done many different ways. So whoever walks into the kitchen and grabs another two pieces of bread, ham, cheese, and then they pull out the mayonnaise and the romaine lettuce and the tomatoes and they start slicing those. Then they pull out two different types of cheese, a cheddar cheese, and then there's a what? Kobe Jack, and then they sprinkle on the salt and pepper, oil and vinegar, and it's just it cuts to that first person who came in and made the quick sandwich, and they're looking at the second person and their sandwich with absolute regret. Like, that is beautiful. Why didn't I take the time to make my sandwich look like that? Why didn't I slow down and make something beautiful for myself? Also, the same goes for setting up a cozy homework space for your kids. Now, none of this really requires extra supplies. It just requires attention. And when we approach these moments with care, we quietly teach our kids that beauty matters, that art isn't just something you do when there's time, it's something that you live. And here's where I want to bring in the mom life in the woods part of this conversation. When you walk outside, whether it's the waterway, it's your neighborhood, your own backyard, look around. Look at the way the trees frame the sky, the way the light filters through the leaves, the colors, the rhythm of nature, the shadows, the movement of the animals. That's art. Probably in its purest form, it's God's creation. As moms, a lot of times we spend so much time moving quickly, checking the next thing off the list, getting from point A to point B, that we forget to see what's right in front of us. But when you slow your pace, when you walk instead of rush, when you breathe instead of powering through day after day, when we practice slowing down to see art in the woods, it trains us to see art everywhere else in the way we arrange a plate, in the way we dress, in the way we write down a note, in a way we make our homes feel warm and welcoming. In the woods, the outdoors, it reminds us that beauty doesn't necessarily shout, at least not all the time. It doesn't need glitter, doesn't need a hot glue gun. It just is, and it invites us to be present with it. So today, I want to invite you to do something simple. Don't run to Hobby Lobby. Don't buy supplies. Don't add another thing to your to do list. Instead, slow down, pay attention, add one small touch of beauty to what you're already doing. That's it. and that's art. And it's waiting for you right where you are. And the next time you're outside, whether you're pushing a stroller or walking the dog, waiting on your kids, don't scroll on your phone. I know how tempting it is. Don't scroll. Just look around. Let yourself observe like an artist. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I'll see you next time on Mom Life in the Woods.